Donald Trump's fascist dictator attitude and invasion of DC is in full swing, and it does not show any signs of stopping, especially considering Congress is out of town on vacation for their summer break. And even when they come back to town, I doubt they're going to do anything to stop this military invasion, military boots on the ground, posse comitatus, what have you. It is all being invaded. I mean, it's all being done, and it is an invasion. There's no getting around that, and it's not looking good, folks. Donald Trump has called in everybody from the FBI to ATF to ICE to the fucking PTA and the goddamn DMV. He has got everybody all jacked up and arresting American citizens on American soil using federal military troops. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. I'm sure at this point you've probably already seen this video, but this is a bunch of Nazi thugs just walking down the street in Georgetown doing their thing. By the way, if you're a cop, I mean, honestly, I don't know what you feel about any of this stuff. All these guys, these DMV police, what have you, all of these guys, they look like they're just on vacation. There's nothing going on but the goddamn rent, man. What are you doing here? They're not even in the crime areas. Not that I want them in the crime areas, but they're just walking around Georgetown. People are just out there having dinner and meals.
Where did they? Which review what?
Make sure you're masked up. Don't want anybody to know what you're doing, because you are obviously breaking the law and you know it. And let me tell you, when this is all over with and Donald Trump is out of the fucking White House, that's if we have free and fair elections, but when he is gone and this authoritarian bent that we have in this country is over with, we need to have American Nuremberg trials. And every one of these motherfuckers need to be prosecuted. Every last one of them. And that includes you, honey, sucking hind tit in this little line. Silly badasses. I love this guy. That guy right there. He's like, what in the fuck is going on? He thought he was just out for a beer. Now he's seeing the fucking military walk down the goddamn street. Fucking fascists. What are you doing? Oh man, there's so much crime going on, man. What are we gonna do? Maybe we can find a black person to harass. Make sure you go to the nicest part of town. There's no crime going on.
First one I saw. So my thought is, there's not much going on here, so maybe they're practicing. Come on.
FBI is not trained for this shit. They're not trained to police American citizens. The DEA is not trained to police American citizens. We have a group of people that is trained for that. They're called the police. How would you feel if that was you sitting there at the restaurant and you just watching military walk on by? I mean, is this communist China? Is this authoritarian Russia? No, man. This is the capital of the United States of fucking America, man. This is a little bit earlier today. There was some protesting going on in DC.
Washington, just one day after the Trump administration pulled back on an effort to install an emergency police commissioner. Now the government is requesting multiple states to send their own boots on the ground. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Larry Miller. Now, we told you earlier that West Virginia was sending nearly 350 National Guardsmen to Washington at the request of the Trump administration. And now we're learning that South Carolina and Ohio are following suit, sending.
I mean, I need you to understand what's going on here. Crime rate has been going down all over the country, especially in cities. And even in DC, as much as they say that the crime rate is up, it has been going down. It is at a 30-year low. So what is Donald Trump doing? He is, obviously, this is a bit of his authoritarian bent. And it's also, hey, let's distract from all the bad shit that I have done, whether it's Epstein, whether it's tariffs, whether it's my failed attempt at a ceasefire with Vladimir Putin. I'm going to distract with this, but I'm also, this is a twofer for me, because now I get to, exercise my authoritarian strength here. And he is, look, I think I read an article that over 100,000 people applied to join ICE. They're only hiring 10,000, but they might hire more. They got the budget for it, $175 billion for ICE. I mean, that's more funding than most countries' entire military budget. And we're funding ICE with that to police American citizens. So Donald Trump is now going to red states to get people from red states and rural communities to come to the big city to police big blue cities. I mean, this is dictatorship 101, man.
200 and 150 troops respectively. And that brings the total to more than 1,500 National Guardsmen coming to the district, nearly half the size of MPD. And we're also learning of the arrest of a community activist, all caught on camera. And it's causing city leaders and residents to be concerned.
They said that she didn't pay a fare, and that she did. She did pay her fare. And she was released later on. But, this is fascism. And she was saying that as they're walking her off, that this is straight up fascism. And it is.
The woman arrested has been released. But as our Alexis Wainwright explains, this is causing more frustration as the federal takeover continues.
Several of my sources say that the activist is safe now and is resting. But despite that update, several residents and city leaders are questioning the actions of police. This video has been circulating online, showing what appears to be a community activist who goes by the name of Feeney being tackled by Metro Transit Police in Navy Yard. The video shot by witnesses Friday night showed the altercation and the 28-year-old Afeni's subsequent arrest. In a statement from WMATA, they said Afeni was arrested for, quote, fraudulent use of a kids ride free card, which is intended for DC students.
Let's just say that that's true. Do you think that action that they're taking, slamming her to the ground, is an equal reaction than using a kids ride free card? Really? Really? That seems like it's fair and balanced, right? This is what happens when you militarize your police force. This is the imperial boomerang coming home to hit us in the back of the fucking head. We have been using this kind of force in countries far away and abroad. And then over the years, we've been using military tactics, military training, military equipment to give to local police. And this is the natural evolution of it. Now, instead of having police using military weapons, we just have the military policing American streets. And what are they doing? What are they using their power on? Fares on subways, which should be fucking free, by the way.
Ages 5 to 21. Misuse of those fare cards is fare evasion and will not be tolerated.
Oh, wow.
But people tell WUSA 9 police went too far. Nene Taylor, executive director of Harriet's Wildest Dreams, an organization that helps at-risk kids, spoke out about it.
It was uncalled for. It was something that should not have happened. Even if it was a fare evasion does not consist of brutalizing a person.
No fucking shit.
Taylor says Afeni and others with Harriet's Wildest Dreams were out on cop watch, ensuring children were not being mistreated by law enforcement during the federal takeover. That's when Afeni and other members of the organization say they saw 3 young men being arrested for fare evasion.
I mean, ultimately, that's what this is about. She got up in their face and she committed the cardinal rule. You never talk back to a police officer or anybody in authority. Don't open up your mouth, and don't you dare be a black woman and open up your mouth to an authority figure. They will throw your ass to the ground. They will make up a charge, and they'll throw your ass in jail. That was her great offense. Go home fascist. Protesters jeer federal agents in the streets of DC. More than 100 protests gathered late Wednesday at a checkpoint set up by a combination of local and federal officers on a popular street in Washington, D.C., where United States President Donald Trump has taken over the police force and deployed 800 National Guard members. Well, you just heard, now it's up to 1,500 as part of what he hopes will be a long-term occupation. Yeah, man, that doesn't sound like a dictator at all. The country's capital and potentially other major cities, because he's already thrown that out. I mean, he's using this arcane rule called the Home Rule Act to do this in D.C., but this is ultimately just the test case to see how much he can get away with, in the hopes that he's going to try this out on Chicago, on Baltimore, on New York. He's already said those cities. So that's the plan. After law enforcement agents established a checkpoint on 14th Street, protesters gathered and jeered the officers, chanting, "Get off our streets and go home, fascists." Some demonstrators yelled at agents standing at the checkpoint, while others warned oncoming drivers to turn and avoid the police installation.
Get off our streets! Get off our streets! Get off our streets! Get off our streets!
You're trying to arrest innocent people? What's your purpose? What's your goal? What's the motive? Why won't you show your face?
Because they're cowards.
Like, do you look yourself in the mirror and think I did a good job today?
Turn left! Turn left!
Trying to get people to turn left to not go down 14th Street. There's a random search right now. They've pulled over about 6 cars. I've seen 2 people get detained, one by ICE, one by the police, taken, no rhyme or reason.
And I just want to tell people at this point that it's not been confirmed. Continue.
That is what it seems like. So we're trying to get people to turn left so that nobody drives down this street.
Now, well, I mean, look, what you're seeing right there, that is the front line. Those people are brave. They're not armed, and they are standing up to an armed militia that has invaded their city. Those people are out there fighting for your freedom. So, my hat's off to them. There was no official stated purpose for the checkpoint, but it came amid the Trump administration's lawless mass deportation campaign and its border threats to deploy the U.S. troops on American cities to crush dissent. Ultimately, that's what this is about. And he is going to be employing this again, but this time it's not just going to be immigrants that he's going after. He's going to be going after protesters. So this is going to be coming to a city near you. Let me see if is there another video on this thing? I thought there was. Nope. Okay, let's moving on. This is another bit of protest that's going on in DC. I think this was happening earlier. This is a couple days ago. That's a lot of people, y'all. They're on the front line, folks. That's right. Fuck Donald Trump. I mean, look, you got to keep this in mind. This is happening in D.C. right now, and these brave people are out there fighting against it. And they're unarmed. They're just putting their bodies on the line to fight against fascism. And just remember, when this happens in your city, you got to be prepared to do the same goddamn thing.
Troops on the corner, fence on the block! Troops on the corner, fence on the block! The fascist takeover must be stopped! The fascist takeover must be stopped!
I mean, look, we've got major law firms capitulating. We've got colleges capitulating. We've got corporations bending over backwards to please Donald Trump. The only people that are going to stand up and fight against this is us. Nobody else is coming. It's all on us.
I want America to understand that what's going on here is unconstitutional, illegal, immoral, wrong. We've got an illegal martial law going on in DC when there's no problems here that aren't normal crime that exists in America.
Not to mention more in mostly red states. You know, you'll hear the Republican go, oh, it's all of this is happening in a blue city. But the largest crime rates in these cities, maybe they're all in cities, but a lot of those major, per capita crime rates, they're in red states. So you can blame the city all you want to, but you also have to remember that it is oftentimes in red states. So
we have an illegal and immoral going after immigrants for no reason.
There's a lot of people.
He's not only a fascist, but we have a man here who has just been given praise by Putin. You can put those dots together.
No shit, you can put those dots together. It's not just happening in DC. There's also solidarity here in New York City. And they're doing a Palestinian demonstration as well.
To say it loud so the whole world can hear us. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
Now, look, you might think that these two things aren't related. Trust me, they are related. Where do you think all of the military training that they're employing in Washington, D.C. streets, where do you think they get it from? They get it from all of the training that has been done for IDF soldiers and what they're doing in Gaza right now. That is the imperial boomerang coming home. So everything that the IDF is doing to Palestine, that is literally what Donald Trump wants to do here in America in blue cities. I also need to congratulate Mahmoud Khalil for talk about bravery. That was the guy that got arrested and detained by ICE, and he was one of the first who, by the way, he has a green card. He's married to an American citizen, and he was arrested on Columbia's campus for protesting against what Israel is doing to Palestine. And he finally got out of detention, and he's immediately out there on the front line. So this is the kind of action we need. Donald Trump does not like democracy, and the places that have the most democracy are big blue cities. And Donald Trump hates that. He wants compliance. He wants you to take a knee and do what you're told. And that's why we need Americans in these big blue cities to stand up against him, because his red state, they're not going to do it. And by the way, I saw a video recently where I don't even know if I have it here saved, but there was somebody filming a ICE agent arresting somebody. It might not even been ICE. It might have been an FBI agent. I can't remember what it was. I think he was ICE. And he was arresting somebody on the streets of DC. And somebody said to him, "You are ruining this country with your fascism." And the guy turned around, masked up, geared up, jacked up, gun on his hip, talking. He turned around and looked at that person. And he goes, "No, liberals already messed up this country." While him and 6 of his buddies are taking down a woman that they just yanked out of a minivan. Yeah, it's the liberals that is fucking up this country. Here's Now, I wanted to show you this specifically, not just because, I mean, you got Mahmoud Khalil here. He's leading this protest. And this is the March for Humanity here in New York City. I wanted to show you this because in the middle of this video, you're going to see the most obvious federal plant you've ever seen. Palestine, Palestinians, Gazans, they are fighting for their right to survive, and we are funding that genocide. You're going to see it. We'll just wait for it. You'll see. You'll see what I'm talking about.
I'll stay out. Video.
By the way, you see right here in the background, that is, what's his name? Sharif, the Palestinian reporter who was just assassinated with him and four other people of the press in Gaza. He would not leave because he is a devoted reporter. And he's always, wearing his big press vest, and he was just assassinated by the IDF. So that's what these murals are all about. And you see a couple of these people, they came out there trying to wave Israeli flags, trying to start some shit. And the protesters, they weren't having it. Seriously, man, go the fuck on. Yeah, somebody's flying in his Israeli flag up here on the roof. They're saying fuck the IDF. This is the guy I'm talking about. Now, this right here is the New York Post, notably a very right-wing tabloid rag paper that is sold here in New York City. And this was their cover poster because this is propaganda. This right here is an ISIS flag. Palestinian Hamas and ISIS, they don't get along, okay? They're not the same group. They actually warred against each other. These are not the same people, okay? There's Sunni and Shia Muslims. They've been warring for a long time. He is literally wearing a Hamas headband and he's carrying an ISIS flag. He is trying to instigate some shit. And by the way, you'll notice that the parade is way behind him. He came out and stood in front of the parade. He's got a whole bunch of cops around him, and there is no protesters anywhere near him. He did this and jumped in front of a camera so he could get his photo op. And by the way, this is a white boy. Why do you think he's got his face covered? He's got his sunglasses on. He is absolutely full of shit, not part of this protest, but he is trying to start some shit with this ISIS flag to make that protest look bad. It's exactly what he's doing. It's like, it reminds me of the George Floyd protest in Minneapolis, where this weird, strange guy, fully masked up, fully covered, just shows up while there's the protests, the George Floyd protest is marching down the street. Nothing's happening. No damage is going on. It's just a protest. And this guy shows up out of nowhere on camera, fully covered from head to toe. The only thing you could see was his white neck and his white hands. And he comes out there with a mallet or a hammer and starts breaking the window of a tire place. And then some protesters came up to him and said, "What the fuck are you doing, man? Get out of here." And they chased him off. He was literally trying to make it look like this protest was violent and they were all a bunch of looters. And he was doing it in the broad daylight. It reminds me of this guy right here with his Hamas headband and his ISIS flag. Neither one of those have anything to do with each other, but he did this for propaganda, and immediately the New York Post is right there to film it. I bet you this motherfucker is a goddamn cop or a Fed or something. And he's like, hey, get your camera out. I'm going to go do this bit of propaganda for you. He's got nothing to do with the protest. You see this way back here in the background.
27 seconds.
Why are all the cops behind him? You know, seriously. The cops are there to clear the way for the protest. That is a legal protest. You have to have a permit to protest in New York City. So they're protesting legally. Why is this guy standing in front of them? It's not even part of the protest, but he's making it look like he is. See, that's the protest. See all the signs out there? It's just free Gaza, stop starving the children, free Gaza. Nobody is waving an ISIS flag. It was just that one fucking dude. And his face was covered, just like a goddamn ICE agent. I just wanted to show you that just to illustrate to you the propaganda that gets pushed. And I guarantee you that image will end up on Fox News later on. See, it's ISIS. They're all terrorists. That's a lot of people, y'all. A lot of people. Democratic Party, man, y'all need to wake the fuck up. 92% of Democratic voters are completely against what Israel is doing in Gaza. 92%. Yet the majority of Democratic politicians are bought and paid for by AIPAC. Anyway, I wanted to show you that as scary as it is, it's stuff like that gives me hope. Because I see Americans willing to put their bodies on the line for this. They're willing to put their bodies on the line for injustice. They're willing to put their bodies on the line against a fascist invasion. I say it all the time. The first country that Hitler invaded wasn't Poland. It was Germany. Donald Trump is following that fascist playbook to the fucking letter. He wants to tamp down on dissent. He wants you to bend the knee. He wants submission. And you, as an American, need to stand up and fight against it, or else we could lose all of this. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like and subscribe. Keep rocking.